All right, guys. I know that a lot of you are having a hard time using some of these apps on your phone, and I played around with some of them, and I found that, in particular, the vector art wasn't really something I could easily do on any of the phone apps. So I found a website called vectr.com, and you can create a free account, and you click new file, and you get this. So for logo creation, let's go ahead and push that out until next Friday. On your style guide, you can just leave the logo off of it, and then by next week you can throw it on there. So uh, I'll start off by, if I'm designing a logo, you guys have hopefully already sketched it out. You and your partners maybe can each come up with some sketches. So maybe by this Friday, um, make that your goal, that you guys all have, each of you has taken the time to come up with some sketches. And then maybe one of you, maybe all of you can go onto this site. I would encourage you to do more than one design and just test out some logo ideas. So let's say your brand is Style Inc. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to use the font. Geez, maybe you are. I don't really know how that works. This is kind of new to me. But oops, goodness sakes. I'm still learning this program myself. But if we click on here, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to have all of your loaded fonts on your computer. It's going to give you a set of, it's a lot of fonts. Maybe you can find one that's very similar to the one that you had before. And this actually might be pulling from my font list, so I'm not really sure on your Chromebooks how that's going to look like, but find one that's similar, and I'll go with that. It's weird how it puts it above it. You can set the font size right here to, like, I don't know, 30. I can't see everything right now. I'm not sure why. Maybe try it on Chrome. But there you go. But the really cool part is you can use vector art. So here you got your circles. You can hold down shift to keep it proportional. As far as picking a color, you can type in those colors, those hex codes that you guys hopefully have written down somewhere for your color palette, and you can use the exact colors that you guys chose. I'm not sure if you can save swatches so that you can come back to this color. I'm not really, doesn't seem like that's something you can do with this, but it'll still work. And then here, the pen tool, this is where this program is really going to be useful for you, because now you can use the pen tool to design things. And if you forget how the pen tool works, play around with it. Ask me questions. There's a bunch of websites that even teach you how to use the pen tool. So if you double click on your shape, you can then go back in and make edits to your shape by adjusting these. If they're corners, you can pull on these circles right here. Oops. Double click. If they're not and they have handles, you can adjust the handles. And if you hold down control in this program, you can turn them into corners. If you don't hold down control, it'll keep them smooth. So you should be able to create anything that you wanted to create in Illustrator. You should be able to create it here. So if I get this shape and I double click on it, again, I can now pull in these corners. So you can make all sorts of cool shapes. What happens if I double click on this corner? Oh, yeah, if you double click on it, it'll even turn it into a smooth path that you can manipulate. So yeah, all the same functions that Illustrator has. You should be able to create a cool logo with this, just like you guys did earlier in the year when you guys designed your logos. When you're done with it, there is an export button, and you can export it as an SVG file, which gives it a transparency and maintains its vector art. And you can download it and throw it in your Google Drive if you're using a Chromebook. You could also save it as a PNG, which would also maintain the transparency of the background. If you save it as a JPEG, the background's going to be white, and there's nothing you can do about that. It'll even give you a URL, so you can copy and paste this to your partners, and allows them to put it in your final document. So it's a cool site. And again, if you want help, like kind of learning how to do vector art better, there are vector art online games. Hopefully I can find them if I do this. And well, I'll link them. I know that I found some earlier that were pretty helpful. Oh, here we go. Top 10 vector graphics arcade game. No, that's not it. Okay, so I'll link that when I find it. And so again, let's make your deadline for the logo the 3rd of April. And your style guide should still be due tomorrow, but you don't need to put the logo in it. All right? So style guide is just going to have your fonts, your colors, and your mission statement.